How did they sucker me into trying front flippers again? Because I had sworn them off. Degroating is a cool word that doesn't exist. Apologizing for cutting shorting now. Yeah, I think we've tortured this metaphor a little too much. Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center, where metal is our business. And it's our favorite time of the week too, because a bunch of cool new knives and products are on the table in front of me. Stuff that hits our shelves every day of the week. And here's some of it. Starting off with an exclusive Zippo with custom artwork created by our graphics director, or artistic director here. And it does say metal is our business, because metal is in fact our business as well.
MG10.
Yeah. And we've got the Knife Center metal, heavy metal logo as well. 26 bucks and change. It's the classic Zippo. Just nothing sounds like a Zippo. It's just iconic. You can hear it anywhere in the world and you know exactly what's going on. Very, very cool. It's not filled, so I can't show you that it has a wind-resistant flame, but it does when it's filled, and after you strike it. And then you can do that, because it's a lot of fun. Yeah, and it goes really well, where is it here, with our exclusive Swiss Army Tinker from Victorinox with the same logo on the front, metal is their business on the back. This is about 35 bucks, available now as well. Just as an aside, that's not new. This is new.
Just dropped.
Just dropped. You won't, this is ours for the reference library anyway. You're not gonna get that one. So even if it got scratched, it'd be fine. You'll get one that's not scratched. It's not scratched though, it didn't get scratched, it's fine. Check it out, links below at the description, in the description, or from the QR codes in the corner. Also check out, before we get into anything further, SMS giveaways going on. We've got some real cool stuff dropping if you sign up at the link below. So now that I've done that, we can move on. What's the prize right now, Thomas? Is it still the ZT?
I think it's still the ZT.
It's a very cool limited edition, long discontinued ZT that has been collecting dust in a collection here for long enough. So now we're giving it away.
It yearns to be used.
Indeed. Shall we get to some knives? Some actual metal? Well, there's metal in the Zippo.
In the Knife Center? Nah.
How long have we been waiting for the Edgerati from Spyderco? The answer is, I think it was 2 SHOT Shows ago, so roughly 17 months. No, that's not math. That's not any sort of math. 19-ish months.
I'm so glad when my son turned 2 years old, I could stop counting in months.
Right. Well, this is not quite 2 years waiting for at this point, so we're still counting in months with it. But it's here. The Edgerati is here. We're starting off with a trio of US-made Spydercos. The first is this. You've got an S30V blade, just over 3.5 inches. It's sort of, the way I like to see think of the Edgerati is you take the shaman, however you want to pronounce it, lop the blade into a straight spine and skeletonize the handle out of lightweight aluminum, and you've got the super light, super fast Edgerati. I say super light. For the size, 3.3 ounces, which may not seem like mega light, but in hand, it definitely gives that impression. It is not gonna weigh you down. You still have this full grip for big hands, plenty of extra surface area from all the skeletonization for even more traction. Good luck, letting this slip out of your hand, quite honestly. And you got the compression lock at the back. You can do that wrist flick open or closed. You've got the finger safe blade path right there. You can even see the compression lock working from the front side. I guess it kind of is lurking beneath the surface,
Not very well.
It lurks and it
right
works. You can be an obvious lurker. You can lurk with, I don't know.
That's how charges get filed.
It's true. 258 bucks and some change for this knife. You can get it like so, or all blacked out if you prefer a stealthier look. But either one feels really good. Grind is super precise. Tip is very neat and acute. The Edgerati is here. If that's not hyper light enough for you, actually hyper light, that's a CJRB, isn't it? We have another US made Spyderco, the Charisma Lightweight. and a lightweight. They might have could have just called it the Spyderco lightweight. 97 bucks and some change, 3-inch blade, crazy thin BD1 end blade. I mean, like we talk about like scalpel-like sharpness sometimes or scalpel-like precision from things. Nothing gets as close to that as I've seen anywhere else but on the Charisma right here. Just look at that wisp of a full flat ground blade. Mid-mounted backlock with the David Boy dent, lightweight FRN handles, wire pocket clip with reversibility. It weighs less than an ounce, 0.81 ounces. Like you barely even register that it's in your hand, quite honestly. So if you need like a summertime carry, especially anything if you're wearing light shorts or any kind of light clothing, especially, it is really well suited to that sort of thing. Which is not to say you can't use it in other climbs either, but it's really well suited to that sort of thing. Just super light, super slicey. Not a self-defense knife. I wouldn't put it to that sort of use generally, but just an everyday scalpel of a pocket knife. Check it out. Made in Golden, Colorado. There you go. It's here. What else do you want to know? Let me drop it in the comments if you have a question. Last but not least from Spyderco this week, we have the Manix 2 Salt. They have been arriving finally. More showing up on the shelves. Magna Cut blade. Ultra stainless in addition to being tough and high edge retention, and everything in the handle designed to be as ultra stainless as possible. Salt might as well stand for, as we say, the standard aquatic life tool, because it is designed to be used in wet, salty, corrosive environments without having to worry about anything rusting away, degrading, degrading. Degrading is a cool word that doesn't exist. It sounds right.
It's about to.
Degrading. Yeah, I like it. Price here, $182 and some change. 3.37 inches on that blade. Leaf shape or drop point profile here. Full flat grind, acute tip, sturdy at the back. You've got the ball bearing lock, which in this case, I believe it's ceramic on these. I would be surprised if it wasn't on the Salt model, to be honest. You actuate it like you would a crossbar lock. You've got the a cage that surrounds that ball bearing that you pull back and forth. Recoil spring or spiral spring type spring behind it, like a regular spring. There's a word for that, and it's a coil spring. Isn't it?
Good job.
Did I say that before?
Probably not.
Probably not. Anyway, plenty of grip on this as well. Last thing you want to do when you're around the water is lose your grip on the knife. So you've got extra traction in the G10 right there and high visibility underwater thanks to the yellow in that. May make it a little more garish here in the sunny side up of the world, but underwater, or as we say, poached side of the world,
sous vide.
It's definitely an advantage for you right there. I didn't think I was going to be making egg puns when I started the video today, but hey, what are you going to do? Next up, another underwater knife, kind of. It's called the Orca from Remette. What we have here is a 3.15 inch blade, a distinctive drop point, not crazy thick, but tall with a full flat grind means the geometry is going to be very, very slicey. Titanium handles, inlays, front and back. Several flavors are available. This is the kelp bed camo carbon, really leaning into the underwater nature of the thematic elements here. Green pivot collar on there, looks nice too. I like the shape of the titanium. It stops short of being like a full contour. You still do have a fairly significant flat, but the edges themselves are broadly contoured and the result is very comfortable in the hand. Locking mechanism. It is a frame lock. You can use it as such. It also has a button which actuates said frame lock, as you can see right there. So you can use it as a button lock, get that finger safe closing. Really snappy on the action as well. You've got the blade cutout. You've also got a front flipper, and it's pretty aggressively shaped to catch your thumb, so I probably won't have a problem with this. I haven't tried it yet. Didn't work, did it?
Lost those skills.
Let's try again. I'm not trying to mess that up. Oh, come on. I put a lot of wrist into it. I would just use the blade cutout. Don't take that as a fault on the knife. I've never quite gotten along with many front flippers out there. You can actually it works really well on the slow roll. That's very comfortable. use what you wish. There are several ways in which you could open this knife. I like the shape. It's comfy in the hand. The price is $315 for the product that you get. M390 steel, did I mention that? M390 steel. Next up, we have two knives from Poikilo. First is a collaboration with VK Knives. This is the Odon Standard 1. Comes in $400. You got a 3.31-inch blade of M398. So it gives up toughness compared to M390, which is not necessarily a tough steel to begin with, but it trades that for significant high edge retention. So if you're looking for kind of ultimate edge retention in your pocket knife, this is the way to go. It is a little bit thicker than some, although for the genre, like big titanium premium frame locks like this, it's not overly thick for the genre. But with that steel selection, I don't know that I would consider this an overbuilt, hardworking knife. Restrict it to anything that doesn't require prying. You should be perfectly fine. Don't pry with your knives anyway, but I know people do, so just warning you. That might not end well with this particular steel here. Titanium handles, pearlescent stonewash is what they call this, but the inlays on the that cover the pivot front and back are especially interesting. This is a flame anodized titanium panel on each side, which is really nice looking. It almost looks kind of oil slicked in a way. You get kind of that rainbow shimmer. It's pretty cool. Big thumb stud on the left side, right-handed side, hammered copper look on the back, and it is a frame lock as mentioned. Front flipper, as well as the thumb stud. Let's see, thumb stud. Ooh. Watch where your finger is. If you press the frame lock, it's not going to end too well. Let's try the front flipper. Dang. There you go. I do have to wrist it fairly aggressively. But it's built very well, which is what we have come to expect from Poikilo. They've only recently been added to the KnifeCenter stable. We're really happy they're here because the designs are interesting and quite well made. Good knuckle clearance on that design too, thanks to the shape. The other new knife from Poikilo this week, coming in at $350, is the Casque. Casque spelled like Basque. If you don't know how that's spelled, it's on the screen right here. The Casque Standard 1 right here, $350. Again, M398 steel. You've got this sort of modified tanto harpoon thing going on. They call it a tanto blade on the website, and that's acceptable. Not compound ground, however, you just have the small transition point right there. Flat grind, titanium handles, and inlays. This one is a titanium inlay, actually, with a white coating. I wonder what kind of coating it is. It's really cool because it almost feels like leather in a way. It's not quite soft like leather, but it has that kind of touch, and I really like it. There's also some split inlay models too, like three pieces, 1, 2, 3, like so. About 8 or so different variants of this knife in stock at the moment. It is a inset liner lock, as you can see, so you don't have to worry about the frame lock getting pressed accidentally when you go to actuate the blade. Thumb stud works fantastically. And I'll try the front flipper. It's the easiest one so far. How did they sucker me into trying front flippers again? Because I had sworn them off for many times, many videos.
I wrote an email.
Poikilo blades, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy to have them on board. Very cool new knives to check out. Next up, we have a Kansept or Concept. I can never settle on, every time I think I've got it right, there's some information that makes me think I'm saying it wrong. So I don't know. Kansept. This is the Contra, another front flipper. Dang it. All right, let's get it out of the way. Okay, it works all right. It works fine. Fine. 196 and some change for this one. You got a 3¼ inch blade, S90V with a very steep hollow grind on it. So that geometry behind that very thin edge is kept very thin for a higher portion up the blade as well. It's going to be very precise at the tip as a result too, with this kind of sheep's foot style black stonewashed blade. There we go. Nailed it. First time, every time. Titanium handles, two-tone with the black inlay on the center right there. A few different flavors are available, but I really like this particular one. I find it very striking. Frame lock for security. Nice big pocket clip on the back. Thumb studs work even better than the front flipper, and plenty of real estate for big hands, as you can see from that handle design as well. Very cool. $196.90. Like I said, very good bargain for what you're getting, which is what Kansept does best, conceptually. I'm sorry, that was a dumb joke. Next up, for about the same price, $195, we have new versions of the DPX HEST, a classic knife at this point. This is the HEST F Urban, which is the sub 3-inch version of it, and it is the Urban Ergal, E-R-G-A-L, which is referring to the handles here, which is Ergal aluminum, which is an aluminum alloy, alloyed with zinc and magnesium primarily. What you get, or what that makes, is one of the strongest and lightest aluminum alloys that exists. It doesn't transform this into an ultralight knife, but it is very maneuverable. 3 ounces for the size. Definitely not as impressive when you consider the Edgerati is like 3.3 ounces or something. What was it? Did I get that right? Let me see. Let me check. Did I remember? 3.3 ounces. That was correct. But for something that typically has kind of that overbuilt feel and weight, and being used to feeling HESTs with that feel, you can definitely tell the difference when you hold these Ergal versions in hand. $195, like I said, where is my tab? There it is. M390 for the steel. You've got that classic HEST drop point, a bit on the thicker side, so don't expect charisma levels of a scalpel-like in slicing, but more integrated strength with the blade. You've got the cutout in the spine as well. Does a couple things. Works as a bottle opener and a pocket deployer. So if you catch it on the hem as you're drawing it from your pocket, you can deploy the blade quote unquote automatically. You've also got the wire stripper jimping as well, thumb studs and flipper tab. So plenty of ways to actuate the blade. Frame lock on the back, deep carry pocket clip. It is reversible. I like the texture on the aluminum as well. It's a really cool line expansion to a classic knife. If you like that sort of small but overbuilt type of thing, maybe check this one out if you're on more of a budget. It's not quite as overbuilt, but it has a lot of the same kind of personality traits that you might get with something like the Urban, the HEST Urban. This is the Rockstub 2.0 from Bocker. I think it's at least the first one I can remember where you had a Bocker Magnum product, which sat below Bocker Plus on the hierarchy. This is a Bocker Plus now, and then the full fat Bocker, like made in Germany stuff, where a knife from the Magnum line has been so successful they brought it up to the Bocker Plus line. That's what you have with the Rockstub 2.0. It is a little bit larger than the original. You can get it in a few different handle materials. We've got micarta and aluminum, I believe, are the options at this point in time. Yep, that is correct. Aluminum starts at $60. For about $68, you can get this micarta version that also comes with a black blade, black stonewash as well. 2.64, good generic drop point shape for general purpose use. 14C, good all around stainless. It's quite tough, holds an edge respectably well, and takes a fine edge really nicely too. Lockup is with the crossbar lock, which makes it a fully ambidextrous design, or at least a fully ambidextrous lock. To make it a fully ambidextrous design, we have a reversible deep carry pocket clip here as well. So symmetrical experience, left or right, depending on which way you set it up, of course. You can have the same thing going on. Crossbar lock works great. Hand, 3.5 finger grip for me, perhaps. But if I needed to choke up a bit beyond the finger guard there, I could just get all 4 of the fingers of my slightly larger than average hands on there and push some heavier cuts with that gorilla grip going on when needed. So in a way, it's just enough without being, without requiring more than it needs to in terms of pocket space. How about some fixed blades? Bradford knives. This is the Guardian 3.5 XL, coming in about $225. You've got a 4-inch blade here of MagnaCut. Great all-around knife right here. I love the protection on the finger right here. Some of their designs will kind of come through to the grind, so you can actually touch the back of the sharpened edge with your finger. That's not the case here. You've got more protection, and you've got a very versatile shape with the blade here. It's not too thick, so it doesn't get in the way of slicing capability with that full flat grind, but it is plenty strong with the thickness that it has and the use of MagnaCut steel here as well. G10 handles on this one, tapering towards the front, aiding or enabling a lot of those real precise grips for precision moves, but still giving you enough at the back where most of your grip strength comes from for those heavier cuts when you need it. Super well-rounded knife design right here. I dig it. The sheath is leather, and it is set up for vertical carry, right side. So the ambidextrousness, you could carry it on the left side, you'll just be facing it kind of the opposite direction. But that's what it comes with. It's made quite well. American made, all of these. Several flavors are available. This is the high C flavor. High C's, because we're water, making water jokes today.
No, that's Tang.
Maybe. What is space if not the ocean of the sky?
Or they were called astronauts.
As opposed to astrodonts.
Astrodon.
Yeah, I think we've tortured this metaphor a little too much. How about some...
Time for re-entry.
There it is. How about two new Exodus models from White River, the 3 and the 4, now in MagnaCut as well. 160 for the Exodus 3 right here with a 3.15-inch blade, and 195 for the 3.88-inch Exodus 4. Despite the very narrow profiles of these knives, they're not, charisma-like scalpels. These are built, sort of the way I've always taken it is the mission of these is minimal footprint, but maximum durability for that footprint. So you've got thick enough steel here that this could be kind of a survival knife. You could baton wood with this in an emergency if you needed to. It's not gonna get in the way in the times when you don't need something like this on your belt. Talked about this, or we're going to talk about this in a future Knife AQ, like the rule number 1 of having a knife is have a knife on you. That may sound pithy, but you'd be surprised. The 3 model especially, very, very minimal commitment required for carrying the knife. The sheaths are Kydex right here. You can see them. They come with a single strap for horizontal carry. At least that's the way they're set up out of the box. But with the holes, or the rivets and the slots, pick an aftermarket attachment method, it'll probably work. Tech locks, mini tech locks, ulti clips, Mummert clips, whole bunch of stuff will work quite nicely. And they could, either one of these could be set up real nicely for neck carry if you are into that sort of thing as well. And if you're not familiar with White River's stuff, you should be, because they are criminally underrated. They do phenomenal stuff. These are designed by Jacob Peterson as well. Didn't mention that earlier, and I should have done, so now I've done. Next up, we have some objects from Ocaso. The first is actually a collaboration with Toor Knives, California, made in California. This is the, let me get it right, the Sevra. And there are 2 versions here. You've got the black micarta, or is that G10 actually? It's hard to tell. It is G10, haha, $275 for that one. There is a classy ironwood option for about $295 as well. Blade is just over 3 inches long, MagnaCut with a straight clip point, 3.5 finger grip for me. Yeah, let me inch up for the 4 fingers, just enough for that type of use. Good finger guard for protection, pretty agile in the hand as well. Let us see this sheath for a moment. I don't know where I put it. Here's the sheath right here. It is one of my favorite types of knives these days, a pocket carry fixed blade. Leather sheath, spring clip here on the side. Really nice design to the sheath. It may look plain and rectangular, but that's because it's ambidextrous. You can turn it around like so. Always love to see that, consideration in sheath designs these days. Especially the ironwood version of this, very, very classy MagnaCut steel, if I didn't mention that already. Yeah, gotta love more pocket fixed blades. I really like, if I had to pick one favorite detail, the front end of The scales right here, the way they bevel in, they just get out of the way when you need to choke up on the blade for finer work. Well done. This next Ocaso is another collaboration, and it is an executive pen design and collab with BIGiDESIGN. And it's fairly minimal, as you can see here. Titanium is the material, 43 bucks and change. It comes with a titanium bead as well, and the Ocaso logo engraved on the center barrel or inner barrel right here has almost like a plaid or like fashion type look to it. Very classy. The way you use it, it's a clockwise twist, deploys the pen tip, and just enough there to scrawl with. You're not going to be wanting to do long writing sessions with it, I wouldn't think, but it's not so small that when you need to jot a note or sign something, it's not a chore to do so. And when eventually the refill runs out, just unscrew it the opposite way. You can see there's some O-rings there to keep it from just slipping out unnecessarily, but D1 refill very commonly available, so you can kind of pick what you want if you like to customize or are very particular about the refill you use. But very classy little EDC piece right there. The same can be said for the Sovranto, their slip joint. Very classy, gentlemanly slip joint here. 180 for this, 2 3/4 inch MagnaCut blade, tapering drop point, very precise feeling. Deep carry pocket clip mounted from the front side and looping around the back, which is a cool way to do it. You get their logo there on the back, and you get you get their name on the clip and you get their logo on the pivot. Always a classy look there too. Walk and talk, very nice. It's not a fingernail breaker, and yet it snaps with authority when you need it to. Nestles into the hand, about a 3-finger grip for me. Trying to see if I would want to gorilla grip this. Maybe not so much, but anything you're going to want to use a small slip joint like this for, you're certainly going to be able to execute. Maniago, Italy is the country of origin on this one. MagnaCut is the steel, like I mentioned. If you're looking for an executive style slip joint, might be one of the better ones I've seen that does that type of genre. Very classy for more upscale things, but also very everyday capable. How about another slip joint? This is a new entry into the Gateway series from Jack Wolf, which is their entry-level series. They're calling it the Stockman. Even though it's a single blade, you can kind of think of it as like a half Stockman, because you've got the main blade layer going on. But it's definitely got that big Stockman main blade energy and a Stockman style, or a handle that would be very at home at a Stockman, on a Stockman pattern knife. Ooh, excuse me. And the price is about 70 bucks. We've got Blue Bone, which I love Blue Bone on a slip joint, I really do. I also love Green Bone and Yellow Bone on a slip joint. Don't ask me which is my favorite. Red is really cool too.
But all bona fide?
In my book, my bone book. Anyway, the Blue Bone is very, very nice. 70 bucks. You can also get green micarta for that price, and there's a camo carbon option for another 10 bucks on top of this. But sort of struggling with this one because this is the second take of this we've had to do. You didn't see the first one because it's so good, and I just want to say it's so good. But okay, how do I describe it so good? Well, the snap is really good. The materials are good for the price, 14C28N, really vibrant bone. The fit and finish is perfect. I mean, there's no proud pins. There's nothing sticking out. Everything's nice and flush fit on the back spring. There's no errant machining marks, really. I mean, maybe if I got in on the inside, I might be able to find one, but it's essentially perfect. And when I say essentially, I mean, it feels perfect. I can't point to a single thing on this that makes me go, that's why it's a $70 knife. Nope. It's really good, man. And if you're unfamiliar with Jack Wolf's stuff, the Gateway series is a great way to get into them because they're really good stuff. Good job, Ben. Ben's the Jack Wolf guy. Yeah, really cool. Really cool. All right. Because I'm no good at describing good things, apparently. Let's move on to the Defiant 7. This is a RMJ collaboration, the M320J fixed blade. It's really good too. It's really good too. 385, you got an 8.5 inch 3V blade, so very tough powder metallurgy steel, and a handle design we've seen on a few of their releases. They're really putting this this shape to good use with a few different blade options. Balance is really good. It's a little bit blade heavy, but not terribly so. Like the balance point is about right there, almost right where the edge begins. So while that makes it a little less nimble feeling when you're doing smaller stuff in the hand, combined with the flare there, that actually means you could choke back and do a bit of like hacking, chopping with this in a pinch. 3V is going to hold up to that. The 3/16 thick blade stock is going to further hold up to that as well. Be a pretty decent option for, a camp style, big Bowie / small machete type of clearing knife. Is it maybe more intended to be a combat style knife? Yeah, probably, but the likelihood of me getting into a combat situation is far less likely than me going camping. So I often tend to think of how I might use a knife like this.
You should try combat camping.
Combat camping.
Formerly known as deploying.
Yeah, my friend Ethan Becker has once described soldiers as being armed campers with attitude problems. And he means that in a very endearing way, mind you. So this Bowie style blade might be right up the alley, so to speak. I like it. $385 is the price. It's made in the USA. Comes with a very nice Kydex sheath here with myriad rivet options for attachment. You've got a backer plate on here with 2 straps. Pull the dot snaps on those straps so they're not going to come loose willy-nilly. They'll only open up in the one direction. And I can get the blade out of the Kydex without cutting myself. I said before, one of the scariest things about working here at the Knife Center is not holding knives here and gesticulating with them. It's unfamiliar Kydex with really high retention. Sometimes you're not sure which way that's going to come out and whether your fingers are going to be safe. This makes me happy. This is a very happy feeling knife. Anyway, next up. I feel like I'm just getting loopier the further this video goes on. So if it comes across that way, I apologize, viewers. The MKM Base Camp, $249 and some change. You got a sub 5-inch Nylox blade, and this thing is stout. Everything about it. The blade itself looks to be, it's about a 1/4 inch, isn't it? Yeah, 0.24 inches wide, and you've got handle scales a little bit on the blockier side, perhaps. The designer here is Simone Tinole, as you can say, as you can see. And I cannot say, apparently. It's a chunk, man. It is the sort of thing that is just built to be abused and wrecked with and used to destroy things, and it'll probably come out the other side looking barely the worse for wear. That's what this is all about. It's a good all-around shape. It could be a survival knife, could be a camp knife, could be a hunter if you want to employ it that way, although the thick blade here might get in the way a little bit with only the saber height flat grind going on. You do have a crown spine here at the back, which keeps things comfy there, and you have a protruding pommel there at the back. Even though it comes to a point, that crown spine keeps it from being too much of a digging point into your hand, but it would be a great basher if you needed to employ it that way. Comes with a sheath, and I don't have it here on it, but it also comes with a tech lock for blade attachment. So even though it's thick, chunky steel and on the weightier side for its size, the sheath doesn't take up too much extra space. It's going to keep it tidy enough on your belt so that the thicker blade is more manageable to actually carry with you. Because again, rule number 1 of knifey is have a knife on you. And yes, I just described it as knifey. I don't know why. Loopy, just loopy. Anyway, how about a big loopy looking knife? This is the Immense 1 from Cold Steel, formerly called the Colossus, but they had to rename that due to copyright issues. So if you're wondering what happened to the Colossus, it just got reassigned. $330 for the knife. You got a 4-inch XHP blade with a really cool broad leaf shape going on, almost like a parang or barong-ish type of thing going on. G10 for the handles. Triad lock for a lot of strength. One of the strongest locks on the market, and when you combine that with a long curving handle like this, even though hacking and chopping with a folder is never the top of my recommendation list, if you had to do it, I would do it with something like this because it has the strength of something like the Triad lock and it has the handle length to get you a little extra reach for that sort of thing. It's not a one-trick pony though. You can hold it in the standard grip here for just quick everyday cuts. You could choke up around the pivot of the blade here. They even give you another finger groove for exactly that purpose, and that gets you right up by the edge. You could use this as a survival folder. You could use this for bushcraft and camping and small detail stuff when the need arises for that. Be a really good option for a folding survival knife. Done videos on folding survival knives before, and Triad locking knives are always kind of at the forefront of my mind of things to recommend for just that purpose. This one's pretty cool. Let's close the knife real quick. Let's look at the close profile. It is a commitment for your pocket. For many, this is going to take up the bulk of pocket space. But you do have the ambidextrous thumb plate here at the spine. Makes it very easy to open one-handed, and it also acts as that pocket deployer, which my fingernail is not a pocket, but you get the picture. Angle it just so on the draw, and you can deploy the blade as you finish the draw. Last but not least, we have some graphical CRKTs to talk about. These are not new patterns or new models, and good luck to me why am I trying to hold 3 at once? Probably a bad idea. Here you go.
What brand are they?
They're CRKTs. I suppose I should have mentioned that. There you go. Got a few. You've got the Razel Compact, a pocket fixed blade. Toot toot, yay, hooray, pocket fixed blade. Love the pocket fixed blade. Comes with a Kydex sheath, or is it thermoplastic? It's thermoplastic with a clip, but very easy to use. Being a Razel, it's got that sharpened front edge, and it also has VEF serrations, flat top serrations here at the back as well. So you've got 3 different kind of cutting planes going on this knife right here. $99.99 for that one. We've also got the Ibis, a Lucas Burnley design. One of my favorite profiles in the CRKT lineup right now. I love the shape of it. $120 for this, 3.09 inch blade, 14C for the blade steel. It was D2 on the Razel over there. You've got the frame lock there at the back, and it's all manual. So no kind of assisted opening springs to get in the way and make closing slower, just nice snippety, snappity action there. And thumb studs as well if you prefer to open it that way. And last but not least, the Drifter, one of the kind of most enduring knives in the CRKT lineup. Been around a good long while. $70 for this D2 blade, 2.88 inches long with the inset liner lock there, and all manual here as well. Nice and snappy. Bit of recurve to that drop point blade and the CRKT logo, almost looking like, again, like talked about this earlier, kind of like fashion type of look to it, like handbags, that sort of thing. Maybe it's just the pink making me think that on this particular one, but you can check them all out. And all of these models are available if you like the shapes, but not the branding. You can get them that way too, without the branding, for less money too. And that's it. That's all we got. I'm far too loopy to continue, so apologizing for cutting shorting now. Nailed that, didn't I? If you have any questions, leave them below, and maybe I'll be less loopy by the time it comes around to answer said questions. We'll see. All bets are off. If you want to get your hands on any of these items, check out the links in the description or the QR codes in the corner to take you to KnifeCenter.com. Don't forget to sign up for that SMS giveaway I mentioned earlier to win that very cool ZT as well. While you're over there at the Knife Center, don't forget about our long-running knife rewards program. Get you free money to spend on a future knife, as well as options at checkout, including Sezzle to break things to smaller payments things.
Oh, that's staying in.
Whew. But at least I'm done now. See you next time.
Nope, shooting another.